What is up, everybody, and welcome to the Realm Status. I am your host, Swiper. And speaking of the Realm Status, it has been, God, man, like a few years since I've made one of these. So if you're wondering what is going on with Camelot Unchained, like myself, stick around so we can talk about it. Over these past few years, Camelot Unchained as a game and, well, studio has gone through a lot of transition. If you guys remember when Camelot Unchained was first announced and started getting developed, we were getting weekly updates. Those weekly updates turned into monthly updates. And then eventually those monthly updates sort of turned into like radio silence. We stopped getting newsletters. We weren't getting updates as frequently. And it was almost like they disappeared. Now, to talk about the studio a little bit, the studio was rebranded to Unchained Entertainment. They launched a project or a game called Final Stand Ragnarok, which didn't sit too well with the majority of the user base. And then we heard of layoffs. So things started to look pretty grim. So let's fast forward to 2025. In 2025, we received a couple newsletters. We've received 2 gameplay videos. And things are starting to look a little bit better. Now, one thing that Camelot Unchained is doing is it seems like they're starting to scale back some of their ideas that they originally had a few years ago. Do you guys remember the whole floating island thing where you were going to capture areas or keeps, and depending on what you captured, the islands would move and it would be maybe more at an advantage? And it was a presentation that MJ gave many years ago with like these puzzle pieces basically. And it was a crazy idea. But it sounds like that's not something they're going to be doing for this game. It sounds like they want to create a game that's more manageable for the team and something they can actually deliver on. So, what does this mean for Camelot Unchained now? When I watch those 2 gameplay videos and I read some of the newsletters, you definitely get a sense for, hey, they're scaling back. They need to scale back so they can deliver a game. They need to scale back because things were complicated, right? More complicated, the harder it is to develop, the harder it is to balance, the harder it is to maintain. And I think overall, that's the right direction. A couple things that I want to focus on for future videos maybe is, first of all, crafting. So when I read a little bit about crafting, it sounds like they're changing the progression system and it's going to be a bit different from what we expected. I also don't think crafting is going to be its own class, but I'd like to really confirm that first before I start spewing stuff out. So I'd love to make a video on crafting because if you think about it, was huge in the original idea. Crafting was the way we got gear. We were supposed to bring our crafters into enemy territory to get the material we needed to craft that epic sword or whatever, right? The next thing I want to dive into are the classes. They're obviously scaling back the sheer amount of classes we're going to get. I would love to fully understand exactly what we're getting, what they still want to keep. So I'm hoping we get some more concrete information on that, and I'd like to do a video on that as well if you guys would want. And I think the next topic I really want to hit hard on is really the gameplay loop. Like, what are we going to be doing now that we're going to have one giant map, right? And if crafting isn't as essential or isn't as crazy as it was, are we still going to be fighting for resources? Are we still going to be doing caravans? What is going to be the reason why we're out there and playing the game and PvPing, besides killing each other and taking each other keeps, which is a lot of fun? But let's face it, we might need a little bit more than that if we're going to stick with the game for a while. At least for me. I'll speak for me. I don't know about you guys, but for me. So overall, what's my take on this? My take is that I'm glad they're sending updates. The last video I saw was promising. I wasn't too thrilled about the first video that Camelot Unchained gave us this year. I really was not. If anything, it actually put a sour taste in my mouth. Watching this video has completely changed my perspective. Now, is the video perfect? Do the animations look great? Does everything look amazing? No, I think it looks pretty good. And maybe from what I've seen in the past, this kind of blows it away, in my opinion. And what I truly want when it comes to this game, I just want to be able to jump in this game with a couple buddies and try and take a tower, try and take a keep, try and force some small scale PvP. Heck, even get into like a bigger scale PvP. I just want to be able to jump into a game and just PvP and not have to worry about some kind of gear grind system or I have to do a bunch of other things so I can get to the good part of the game. I also want to be able to play a game that can handle what it's delivering. So overall, when it comes to this game, I'm gonna constantly root for it. It sounds like financially now they're in a better spot, and that's great. I typically don't look into the finances or look into all this other stuff because honestly, I feel like you never really know. But I'll take MJ at face value and what he says. So within the next couple weeks, in the next couple months, I will keep an eye out for this stuff. And if people enjoy these videos and want me to do more informational videos like this, I will gladly do it. I am super excited for this game still, and I really hope it succeeds. I hope they get it in our hands, even if it's not perfect, but I hope we can all play it soon.